Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Julie, and today's video is going to be a first impression review and wear test of the new Colourpop No Filter foundation, as well as the No Filter setting powder. So personally, my skin is very oily, so this will be a good wear test for those of you that are oily. And also, I live in California. It is going to be just under 100. I will say it's really difficult for me to find anything that's going to really last ultra long with all of these factors. So bearing that in mind, let's get started. It looks like this. I actually think that the packaging is super cute. I like the little stars, I like the jar, it has a pump. It's pretty cute, I like it. Unfortunately, it looks like it's gonna be a little too yellow for me, but I'm just gonna make it work because it's what I got. I also got the translucent powder, so it comes in a container like this, and it has little holes in the top, and you can put it in the lid, I'm assuming. Yeah, and there you go. So my face is clean and moisturized. I'm going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. My purchase did come with a foundation brush, which ordinarily I don't use brushes like this to put makeup on. I just feel like it's pointless. For the sake of this video, and since I got it, I'll use it. So I'm just going to put some on my hand. Okay, so first things first, it's very liquidy. You can see it immediately running down my hand. Got some on here, and let's just start on the forehead. So I've placed it down, and I'm gonna go in with, this is a Sonia Kashuk beauty sponge. I got it from Target. Okay, so here's the side without foundation. Here's the side with. You can see it got rid of my redness. So I don't know what this claims to be, but I would call this medium coverage. Okay, so slightly too yellow, but nothing bad. Actually, I think this is a way better match than I thought it was gonna be. So far, it looks pretty nice. Definitely like a medium coverage, and so far, it's laying nicely on the skin. It isn't really sinking into the skin as much as I would hope. It does look a little bit cakey between my eyebrows, and I am noticing that it's not sinking into my fine lines, which is nice. I have one here, and then my smile lines, and so far it's not sinking into them, so that's pretty good. So far, this is going actually really well, in my opinion. The foundation is only $12, so it's very affordable, and it looks pretty good. I hope that it wears as nicely as it applies, at least. Maybe even better, I hope. And now I'm gonna move on to concealer, and I'm actually going to use the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. This is Light 10, and I just thought it would be nice to see how their foundation and their concealer wear together. You can see the concealer definitely made the foundation sink into my forehead line, which I'm gonna smooth that out and put powder, so it'll be okay. And you can kind of see the cakiness between my eyebrows a little bit. But when you zoom out and look at me, you know, at this normal distance, it looks okay. Okay, so I think it looks pretty good. It is kind of on the rougher, more textured parts of my skin. It does not lay as nicely. This area right here, I have kind of a blemish. I always have this kind of weird red textured spot right there on my forehead. And those spots, the foundation isn't looking great, as well as the center of my eyebrows looks a little bit cakey. And the foundation wasn't sinking into the line on my forehead, but when I added concealer, I don't know if the concealer is creasing up there or if the makeup had time to kind of melt a little bit and it did sink into that line. If you look up really close, you can see the flaws, but if you look at me from a normal distance, it doesn't look too shabby. Okay, let's give this translucent setting powder a whirl. Just setting down all of the areas that crease the fastest. And then the rest of the face. I recognize that I use a lot of powder, and the thing is that my oily skin needs it. And if I don't powder, especially during a hot summer day, if I don't heavily set everything, my foundation isn't gonna last longer than 2 hours. I will have the greasiest, slippiest, slightiest face. I'm just doing my makeup how I always do it so that you get an actual review of how I would actually wear the foundation and how I like it. And also I wanted to give you a good first impression of this translucent powder. Honestly, so far, I really, really like it. It was nice and thinly milled, but not too thinly. I feel like when powder is too thinly milled, it doesn't sweep over your pores and kind of blur your pores how I like. But this one is finely milled enough to really go on smooth and to really set the foundation really nicely, but also enough to have a little bit of extra coverage and to kind of smooth over everything. So far, I like this even more than I liked the foundation. So I guess we'll see how it wears. Hopefully it can make my makeup last longer also. So here's what everything is looking like so far. The things that I didn't like before, I still kind of don't like now. I don't like this little patch, I don't like between my eyebrows, and I don't like my texture right here. Aside from those areas, I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty content with how it is. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so now the rest of my makeup is on, and now that everything else is kind of put together, I like how it looks a lot more. The areas that were bothering me definitely don't stick out very much at all. So yeah, so far I really like this. Right now we're in really good shape. I'm really happy with it. It is 11:27 right now. I have some errands that I have to run. I'm gonna grab something to eat. I have a meeting, and I'll just do check-ins throughout the day. I'm actually going to be dog sitting later. I have 2 dogs of my own, but we're gonna be watching another little guy for the weekend. So stay tuned and I will let you know how this makeup wears throughout the day. Hey guys, okay, so it is 2:04. So it's been about 2.5 hours since I finished my makeup. So I'm just gonna take a quick little look and let you know how it's looking. Okay, so first thing on my chin, the makeup has just like rubbed off, and I don't know what caused that. I'm gonna zoom you in. Something happened. I don't remember touching my chin. I don't remember anything touching my chin, but somehow the makeup has just kind of rubbed off there. Excuse me if you can hear my dog. He's very moany and loud, and he's sitting next to me. It has melted into my forehead line right here. It actually looks quite cakey between my eyebrows. That hasn't gotten better, it's just gotten worse. And it's also cakey on my upper lip area and even kind of just like my T-zone, I guess. Aside from that, it looks all right. All the places that I have bronzer look pretty good. My nose isn't too shiny or faded, which is nice because sometimes that can tend to fade a little bit fast. I'm definitely dewy, and it's only been 2.5 hours. And I'm already really shiny. So this definitely is not like a long wearing matte foundation. I guess we'll see what it looks like in a few hours, and Winston, really? Shh, quiet, buddy. So there's my little update for the first part of this foundation. So I will see you guys again in a few hours. Hey guys, okay, so it's just after 4 o'clock, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do my final opinions on this foundation now. Sorry if you can hear that jingling, that's the dog that we are puppy sitting, and he is very playful. Okay, that's the biggest understatement ever. The rest of this video is pure chaos. Sorry in advance. So I decided to wrap up this review because I hate the way my skin looks right now. And waiting longer is not going to make it get better, or it might get worse, but I don't know if it could get too much worse than how it looks right now. The way that my foundation looks right now, and it's been under 5 hours, is what I would consider acceptable after like 9 hours, 10 hours, something like that. Like I'd be like, okay, you know, it's been a really long time, so it looks all right, but it's barely been any amount of time and it just looks like crap. All of my oils have completely pushed through. It's doing that thing that I hate where it kind of sinks into your pores unevenly, so it just looks like little speckles of foundation sitting in your pore, and then there's kind of redness around it. I feel like this foundation is exaggerating my pores, exaggerating texture on my face. Usually when a foundation wear test goes like this and it's something that isn't long wearing, I go, well, it applied really nice at first, but it's not long wearing, so you can wear this if you have like a dinner out and you're just going out for a couple hours and then coming home and you're gonna, you know, do your makeup. Usually I would say that, but its first application wasn't great either, so I don't even know if I'd recommend it for that. So right now, as it stands, I'm going to give it a grade. I think I'm gonna give it a D. I wouldn't say it's a complete fail because I like the tone of it. It didn't apply terribly initially. The powder, it's hard to say because it's over this foundation and I can tell that the foundation is the problem. So I'm gonna be trying out this powder with my other foundations, see how that goes, and you'll probably see it in upcoming tutorials. Not so sure you'll see the foundation in any upcoming tutorials. Anyway, if you have oily skin and you tried this foundation and you got it to work for you, how did you do it? Did you apply it differently, use a different setting powder? Let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear them because I do plan on trying to make this foundation work somehow, some way. Anyway, that is everything. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell to see whenever I upload, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.